I don't actually have enough footage on the Leopard 2K to make a proper cinematic intro out of it, so instead you're getting the sexy new launching sound of the Raketenjahr-Panzer II Hot. Enjoy! It is currently 48 minutes past midnight on a Saturday morning, the 10th of March. Probably the same date as the video is going to be uploaded. Yes, I'm recording this, well, quite deep into the night. I want to apologize in advance because this video is going to be a bit weird. It's not going to have the same kind of quality standard that I usually have, simply because I don't have enough time or footage to really talk about the tank. In detail, anyways, but also because there have been some other changes that I want to talk about in a separate video. In fact, together with this video I'm likely going to be uploading a second one, talking about some of the changes that have been made to the new tanks on the dev server, which might be coming up again this weekend, and also a rant about the proposed battle ratings. Gaijin has already confirmed the battle ratings these things are going to be launched at least, and it's not looking good. But in any case, let's get right into the Leopard 2K. This is the Leopard 2K. It's essentially a Kampfpanzer. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name is MikeGoesBoom and... Okay, hold on. It's just a little bit more complicated than that, but there's really not much to talk about in this case. The Leopard 2K is essentially a prototype version, not quite Leopard 1, not quite Leopard 2, something in between. It also features the world famous Rheinmetall 120mm L44 Glattrohrkanone. This is an early version of the well-known 120mm Rheinmetall cannon, a smoothbore cannon, which is still being used on many tanks today. It also features a coaxially mounted 7.62mm MG3, if I'm not mistaken, as well as the same turret-mounted 20mm Rheinmetall RH202 that is featured on the Kampfpanzer 70. It also features a 1500 horsepower engine, just like the Kampfpanzer 70, but is actually a couple of tons lighter than the Kampfpanzer, making this tank have, I believe, to have the best power-to-weight ratio in the game, and as such should have the best acceleration of any tank in the game. This cannon has two shell options. The stock HeatFS shell has 650mm of penetration, and as such is the bane of T-64Bs, which even after the update of the armor, which we're going to talk about in a separate video, is still going to be cut right through, just like butter with a hot knife. And whilst it did have issues with the Challenger and the Abrams before, the Abrams used to have 650mm of heat penetration resistance on its armor. It doesn't anymore. It now only has 600mm, meaning that the Leopard 2K with the stock shell can go through the Abrams no problem. The second shell is a researchable upgrade at tier 4 and is an APFSDS shell now with 417mm of penetration, slightly updated from the last dev server. It is still not quite enough for the T-64's upper frontal plate, so when you are facing T-64s you definitely do want to carry your HeatFS shell with you, but it is enough to deal with Abrams. The armor of the Leopard 2K is nothing worth talking about. It's space armor, it's pretty much negligible. You can compare this to a Kampfpanzer 70. Anything you face is more than likely going to be penetrating you. However, I'll give it that the turret at least seemed to be a little bit trolly. I don't know if it was because the enemies that I was facing in the custom battle weren't quite being able to aim it right, but I did bounce a couple of shots. That being said, don't rely on the armor of this tank. You're not going to survive if you play this thing like a tank that can get shot at. And that's essentially it, really. The Leopard 2K is, in its essence, an even quicker Kampfpanzer with an even better gun. There are a couple of interesting dynamics versus the other tank. For example, when you're facing T-64Bs, the Leopard 2K is essentially the nemesis of the T-64B. With the stock shell, it can easily penetrate it anywhere, just destroy it in one shot, and it's also much faster than the T-64B. Issue, of course, being that German teams tend to be paired up with the Russian teams, and as such you're not really going to be facing many T-64Bs, which could be an issue for the other nations. Versus the M1 Abrams, you had this dynamic of the stock HeatFS shell not really being able to go through it before on the last dev server. However, since the M1 Abrams chemical energy protection has been nerfed down to 600mm. Now you can easily penetrate the Abrams with your stock shell, you can easily penetrate it with the APF-SDS shell, and as such they're more or less on the same level now. The mobility is about on par. The Abrams is of course a bit heavier and as such slower than the Leopard 2K, but both have the same top speed, both have 1500 horsepower engines. The Abrams does have a big advantage though in its reload. The reload of the Abrams is just about 5 seconds, which I believe is a lot faster than the reload on this 120mm gun on the Leopard, given that it does not have an autoloader. Well, of course the Abrams doesn't have an autoloader either, but it's only 105mm cannon, so reload should be quite a bit faster. Against the Challenger, it's interesting now. The Challenger has received a massive buff to the turret armor, which again, we're going to talk about in the other video, but essentially the Challenger is now impenetrable when hull down. If it's only exposing the turret, you're not going to be able to go through the Challenger. Maybe through the gun mantled, but even then you're not really going to be doing much in terms of damage. And this is with both shells, neither the APF-SDS or the Heat-FS shell can do that. Otherwise, however, the Challenger of course is quite easy to kill. There's massive weak spots in the driver port on the upper frontal plate, and the lower frontal plate isn't even armored, so you have no problems going through that, side armor, anything like that. And of course, the Chally is quite a bit slower than the Leopard 2K, so as long as you can get on the flanks and you can find a Challenger that is not hull down, you can easily go through it in your Leopard 2K. And of course, since there isn't much to talk about with the Leopard 2K, I am going to be playing some footage that I recorded on the dev server during my last stream, as in a kind of a montage, and you can see how this thing plays, including some nice night battle mode on Fulda. Alright lads, enjoy the gameplay, I'll see you at the end of it. Oh god, I can't see shit! Imagine this in simulator mode. Like so, without the HUD. How are you going to spot tanks in this shit? Like, you can barely see tanks on my own team and they're like 20 meters away. Jeez. We need to make it an event? Yes. Guys, we need to do that. How about a custom battle in this without markers? There's a Katyusha! Hello. Nice try speed. Not this time. Not this time. Hello. Whoo! Ow! I hurt. There's an object 120 over there. Let's go. Ooh, shit. This thing drifts even more in arcade mode. Jesus. Also, yeah, I have a feeling we're dominating this. Just saying. We're already pushing the back into the spawn. It's just Leopard 2 hordes. And it's going to be interesting to see who wins, Leopard 2 or... Ah, Russian hordes! Oh shit. Nope, you can't see me. Yes, you can. Oh, the sound of the Katyusha! Oh! But we're doing 80 right now, Jesus. Nothing around here. That was just an ever so slightly brown pants alert. Ah, come on, what's that? Oh shit, he's looking at us. Where are my shots going? Oi! Who did I? Non-penetration, really? This HL has 650mm of penetration. You want to tell me we don't have penetration? Oh, hello. Okay, using a 650mm penetration Heat-FS shell against a Katyusha might be slight overkill. How did you die? We got KV2'd. Yeah, even space armor doesn't help you there. Oh god, you can't see anything. Ah! This is in full daylight, by the way. This is just what incessant rain does to you. Fog and rain. Lots of fog, lots of rain. I'm just trying to find a puddle. Oh yes, puddle. Look at that, look at that. Hold on, hold on, hold on. You might not be able to see too well on stream because of the quality, but look at that. The rain is leaving ripples on the puddle. And your shells as well. Ah, and trace of water. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, hello, Abrams. How are you doing, lad? He got ammo racked, but he's still alive. He's still alive. Now he's dead. That's the Abrams for you. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to get tricked at the start of the patch. Just because they think an Abrams is dead when it isn't. It's burning, but it isn't dead. Shit. Kampfpanzer. He doesn't see me. He did see me. He did see me. Okay, never mind. Tactical retreat. Oh fuck, I'm in the crossfire! How the fuck did I get there? I just play dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. You can't see me. See? I'm dead. If I can't see them, they can't see me either. Okay, that actually kind of looks very nice. Next level stealth. This is next level stealth. Yes, no one can see us here. We are completely incognito. Fuck. Are we taking damage? No, we aren't. We're actually going completely under the waves. Holy fuck. Look at this shit. Bloop. You can't see us? I'm a turtle! I'm an actual turtle. I'm underwater right now. I'm actually underwater. This is the German submarine program. Look at this shit. Okay, that's actually kind of awesome. Awesome. Question is, can we still fire out when I'm underwater? Ooh, we actually bounced off of that. Wave! And that's the Leopard 2K. Overall, it is a decent tank. You don't have the armor that the other main battle tanks do have, but you have by far the strongest gun. 650mm of penetration on a stock shell? Where have we ever seen that? And also mentioned before, there have been changes to the tanks since the first dev server, and I'm going to be talking about in another video, in a second video that's going to be uploaded at the same time. So if you want to learn about the changes and hear about my rant about the battle ratings for these tanks, you can click here, the video should be there. And additionally, there might be another dev server opening this weekend. It might be even open right now, so I might even be streaming right now, but in any case, when the dev server opens, I'm going to be streaming it over on twitch.tv/MikeGoesBoom. If you want to see the changes, tune in. But that's about it for today, lads. Again, I'll have to thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, my name is MikeGoesBoom, and thank you for watching.
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find